I think that it's probably better to just observe a few things. One is Bitcoin has now been around for 15 years, and there has not been a Bitcoin 2.0. So there's no crypto 2.0. This is Bitcoin is the surviving chain, and Bitcoin has become a $2 trillion asset, which never in history, financial history, has anything reached $2 trillion and then disappeared. So we're not. It's a different argument if it was $100 billion.
Okay.
The third is the U.S. government is reiterated its commitment to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset. That's not bad for the price of Bitcoin. So if someone is watching this and said, well, they don't understand Bitcoin, so they decide not to own it, it's a catastrophic way to look at market.
Welcome back to the channel. Opening clip there from Tom Lee. And let's just go ahead and jump into today. Going to be going over some MicroStrategy and Bitcoin updates. So we can see here the most actively traded U.S. stocks for February 11th. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this here. We can see MicroStrategy coming in here at $3.28 billion, just outside the top 10, but still some pretty big volume for a stock that's only $80 billion. You compare that to some of these stocks up here, they are trillion-dollar companies. So you can see Strategy's volume is pretty healthy there. And an update from KULR. They've acquired 100 Bitcoin for $10 million at around 103K per Bitcoin. They now have a Bitcoin yield of 167% year to date. And as of February 10th, they now hold 610 Bitcoin. They got all that for around 60 million. So KULR continues to stack more and more BTC, continuing to follow the Bitcoin strategy there. Then you can see here another Japanese company, Japanese mobile and Web3 game studio Gummy, today said it will buy Bitcoin for $6.6 million. They're going to be staking it on the Babylon platform, register proceeds on its income statement. Gummy follows Nexon's purchase of 1717 Bitcoin in 2021, becoming the second listed game company in Japan to do so. So it sounds like they're not going to be buying Bitcoin, the native asset BTC, but maybe Bitcoin on Ethereum rails or Solana rails, and they'll be staking that to have some income from that Bitcoin. So that's a little bit more risky, but it's good to see more adoption for Bitcoin there. But it's looking like they're going to be probably getting some wrapped Bitcoin. And then from Eric Semler, he's saying, welcome to the zombie zone, where he will be personally spotlighting companies that can unlock shareholder value by adopting the Bitcoin standard. Saylor has identified thousands of zombie companies, public companies sitting on cash reserves that earn a negative real yield. He urges them to break free by making Bitcoin their primary treasury reserve asset. Why settle for T-bills yielding 4% when Bitcoin has been delivering 40% year-over-year returns? Last year, this message resonated with the board as SMLR. And you see what Semler did. They followed exactly what Michael Saylor and Strategy have been doing, and they're following that same exact playbook. So what Semler is going to be doing going forward, he's going to be spotlighting companies and saying, hey, you can do the same strategy that we've been doing, and you can put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, and this will help your company grow in the future. You want to get rid of the USD and put an asset on your balance sheet that will actually appreciate over time, and that's going to be Bitcoin. And we can see Bitcoin trading at 96,460 right now, down 1% today. We got as low today as around 95,000. Strategy closed at around 320. That's when Bitcoin was trading at around 95. So if Bitcoin does stay around this 96.5 level, our strategy will actually be opening up tomorrow positive. We just got to wait and see for that. But let's go ahead and get into some other Bitcoin news here. So Mr. 100 has been buying more Bitcoin as of late. He was buying a lot last year, was selling in late January and early February, and now he's buying again. And there has been speculation around who this Mr. 100 is. It may be a Upbit, which is a cryptocurrency exchange wallet, but some people think this is a big nation player that's been buying Bitcoin and not really telling anybody about it. So you can see that they have been buying here, potentially buying what they think is the dip at around $96,000 and $98,000 for. And then in the traditional markets, Jerome Powell gave a speech and he says that they would only use quantitative easing only when rates are at zero. This is what caused the Bitcoin to sell off today. The QQQ sold off today. Some of the crypto market sold off today because Powell said this. So this is like a short-term effect on the market. We have CPI coming out tomorrow. This is going to be a short-term indicator whether the market will be bullish or bearish over the next couple of weeks. That's going to be released at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow on February 12th. Watch out for that. CPI, I know you may not believe the numbers, but the market does trade based off of what happens with CPI. The jobs reports, we had a strong jobs report. Unemployment was going down, but now if CPI comes in hot, people are going to be fearful and they're going to take chips off of the table and we'll see the market sell off. If CPI comes in neutral, the market will probably rally. If CPI comes in lower than expected, the market will actually probably rally even more. So that's just my thoughts on CPI. And that's just short-term price movements. Obviously, this is not going to change anything over the long term, but you got to watch out for these dates in the short term. And then look at how many states we have right now that are looking to potentially get a Bitcoin strategic reserve. A lot of states. And I think what's key here is that at least one of these states, this bill actually gets enacted into law. Just one state is all we need. There have been a couple that have already been denied. I believe 2 states have already been denied. They didn't pass the voting. So I think what would be very helpful going forward is to get one of these states to do it, buy the Bitcoin, see the performance for 2 to 3 to 4 years, and then other states will be like, dang, we should have did that 2 to 3 or 4 years ago. Now we need to vote that in. So I think that's something we need to see is just one of these states get it in. And hopefully we see one pass, but I think a lot of these aren't going to pass, through Senate and Congress and everything they need to go through. But even if we just get one, it'd be a pretty big one for the entire country. Oh, and then I have my slides that I ordered here a little bit, but these are the expectations for CPI that's going to be coming out tomorrow. So you can see most banks, most analysts think we're going to be anywhere from around 2.9% to 3.1% on that headline CPI. And core CPI is going to be around 2.9 to 3.2. So that's what the analysts are looking for, a median forecast of 2.9 on the headline CPI and a median forecast of 3.2 on the core CPI. And then Texas says they're going to be buying up to $500 million in Bitcoin every year if they pass the bill. So that would be huge buying pressure from just one state. So that would be good to see Texas passing that through law, and then they'll be buying $500 million of Bitcoin every single year. But I have a clip here from Cynthia Loomis talking to Jerome Powell. I wanted to share it with you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content. We have new videos coming out every single day. Really appreciate every single one of you guys. But let's go ahead and jump into this clip here.
Just look at the mess the Fed made of Silicon Valley Bank. And I contend that there is a lack of understanding that is deliberate on the part of the Fed with respect to digital asset policy. So the Constitution says Congress is your boss, but somehow your staff have not gotten that message. So, Chairman Powell, do you commit on behalf of yourself and the Federal Reserve staff to comply fully with all document demands issued by this committee in a timely manner?
Sure.
Will you instruct your staff to be complete in their responses and not to obstruct the oversight functions of this committee?
We always work with the committee to be responsive to your requests. Sometimes they're beyond our capacity to respond to, and we work with committee and with committee staff to do that, but we're always responsive to committee requests.
And I'll look forward to engaging with you when you feel that our requests are outside of the scope of the oversight that we have over the Fed. Do you commit to disciplining or removing any staff that are found to have engaged in debanking activity, furthering Operation Choke Point 2.0, or other misconduct?
I can't make an open-ended commitment to remove anybody, but I will tell you that I am struck, and my colleagues and I are struck by the growing number of cases of what appears to be debanking, and we're determined to take a fresh look at that. In fact, I took the thing that you showed during the debanking hearing. When I saw that, we're now taking that out of the manual. So I thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My time's up.